We have got app roles coming in the token. We have got two options for RBAC implementation. One is we can implement this within the app itself, the web service that we have coded, that is within the Spring Boot itself. Another is we keep it external and we utilize API gateway to do that. Now, before we implement API gateway for this application, one thing we have to make sure that app service where this is running, the MongoDB app, it should have SSL enabled. Now to do that, we have to go on the B1 tier. F1 tier does not have SSL um, option, right? So you will have to go up one tier and make sure that HTTPS is enabled, all right? So this is enabled and you get a free certificate as well to go with it. So now once that is done, we can go to the API gateway and create a API management service. Once the service is enabled, we go into APIs and we are going to create a new API, right? Now to add an API, there are again multiple options. We can either utilize open API or other configuration, or we can create an API using the app service itself. Now app service, I did not find a cleaner way of doing it. I already have a Swagger configurations for the application, and that is what I'm going to use. So I'll just go and select that. Let's call it Mongo API. Sorry, Mongo API. This we can leave it at root. Even you can leave it at blank, and then just create. All right. So once this is created, so we have got all our four definitions, right? One for post, one for delete, and two get that we have. So all of these are created from the Swagger now. Now all we need to do is within the policy, the incoming policy we have to set where we are going to validate our JWT token. So I have already created a policy for it. Now what the policy is saying, this is the main part here, the audience and the claims. Now the audience ID is our app registration that we did for MongoDB app, right? Not the Postman. Now we need an client ID of the MongoDB app, right? This is our audience, not the Postman. Postman is the front end. We need a client ID from the back end, right? So this is the one. Once we have this, right, we need to verify the roles which are the requirement for this API to be successful. Now we are talking about post, so we will exclude reader from here. We need either a writer role or admin role to be able to execute a post, right? So let's save it. And similarly, I'll go ahead and do for all three and while I pause the video. Okay, so it's done for all. And now for the get, you see that what we are saying is that you come with any role, right? We are matching the roles claim, and any value that we match out of these three. Sorry, whether you can be a reader or a writer or admin, you are allowed to execute the get request. But similarly, if you look for the delete, we are saying that only an admin can do it, right? Only an admin can do it, nobody else. Let's just save this. Now, another thing that we have to do is you have to go into the products, and this I have already created, and we need a subscription key from this product, and I'll show you that. So you create a product and you create a subscription, and this is a subscription key that we need. But along with it, we also have to register our new API with the product. So I'll just add it here. So now that is done, and I have already subscription key was already available with me, and that is already set in the Postman. So now if we go to the Postman and log in as admin first, Let's test it. All right, so we got this token and we will use this token. Now, before I execute this, I'll show you one more thing. We need a API URL, right? Now we don't need a app URL. We need a API URL, and we go back to our gateway, copy this, okay? And this is the same one, but all right. So this is set now. Okay, so now in the Postman, we have already logged in as an admin. So let's try to run this collection. All right, so this has run all the tests, all the, so admin can execute all the APIs, right? So post, delete, and get everything it can run. So now let's go ahead and get a new token, but this time for writer. Let's clear the cookies and then log in as a writer. All right, so we got a token. Let's use the token, and again the same thing. Let's go to run the collection. Now what we need to know here is except delete, everything else should run more or less, right? Let's go. All right, so this user is not allowed to execute delete, and but everything else he can execute, right? And we can go and check out the manually as well. So let's see if I send this, right? Unauthorized token, right? Is missing or invalid. Now let's log in as a reader and all right, so I've got a reader token as well. So now let's go and execute the collection. All right, so only the get should execute at least. None of them else should work. All right, so the get have succeeded, but not the post or the delete, but this get also has a problem. In this one has succeeded, one test case, another one did not. The problem here is, it's not that the get did not execute, it's just the count is a mismatch, right? And this count expects that this creation will succeed, and since this did not succeed, this count is failing.